Testing 1, 2, 3. So, good evening, everyone. Russ here. I am live over on a few places. I see. That's good. Hello, Jeff. Good to have you out there. Hello, Awesome Wood Things. Uh, Jeff Robinson. Hello. Yeah. So, doing a little scrolling this afternoon. Uh, don't laugh, and if you do laugh, don't laugh too loud that I can hear you. It's been months since I've been here on the scroll saw, and I mean months. I know they say it's like riding a bicycle. You know, you never forget. It might take you a little while, but you never forget. So, but what I'm doing is we have. I started out years ago making these named ornaments for our tree. Very simplistic, very easy to make and to scroll actually. So they're not very hard. You can see that. And we have them on our tree. Well, it just so happens to be we have some new members in our family, so I needed to add some ornaments. So my wife asked me the other day, she gave me the list of the new names, and I'm going to be scrolling them today. And I'm just looking to make sure that I'm actually live. I have the Restream chat up so that I should be able to see people as they come in or whatever. So that's what I want to do. I've got plenty of time between now and Christmas to get these done. We usually put our Christmas tree up right after Thanksgiving. And yeah, it shouldn't take me that long to do these 4 ornaments, that's for sure. So that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon. I'm using my Seiko ST21 scroll saw that I truly love, and I'm also using Nikwa, a number 1 ultra reverse blade from Bearwood Supply. That's going to be the blade I'm going to be using. So, like I said, don't laugh too terribly hard. At least so I can't hear you. So, oh well, wouldn't you know it? I'm going to have to take, just getting started, and my wife already needs something. Wouldn't you know that? So I'm going to take just a couple of minutes here. I'll be right back, I promise. And I told her I was going to come out here and start this, so it must be something important. Otherwise, she wouldn't have interrupted me. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I need to make me up a screen that says "Be right back" that I can plug in. So Jeff Robinson says he's looking at purchasing a Seiko or a Pega scroll saw for the new year. That's actually great, Jeff. Get with me here before you decide to purchase, and we'll talk. Yeah, just get with me. Let me know. We can either chat. I can set it up where we can one-on-one chat, just like I'm doing right here. But naturally, it won't be live. Everybody will see it. But yeah, I'd like to talk to you before you actually make the purchase, so to speak. So, but good to have you out there, and also awesome wood things. This is live over on Twitch, and it's live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So I already started this one. Let's get the show on the road and get some scrolling done here. Like I said, don't laugh. At least don't laugh too loud. Let me know, Jeff and Matt, if I need to turn the mic off when I'm scrolling, if it's picking up too much noise. Naturally, I can't tell, so if you don't mind, let me know if it's making too much noise. If you're trying to figure out what this name is that I'm scrolling right now, this is my great-granddaughter, the newest member of our family, Lila. She is our newest member. So kind of taking my time with this because, like I said, it is you think Matt's making too much noise because he's awesome. Because, like I said, I'm not gonna be speeding through any of these. And plus, oh, and if I didn't mention it, by the way, this is 1/4 inch Baltic Birch plywood that I am using. So with one of these brand new Nequa blades, Jeff, can you hear the scroll saw too? Is it too loud? Do I need to turn the mic off, or is everything okay? But with these brand new Nequa blades, it just goes right through this plywood, Baltic Birch plywood, like hot butter with a knife. So if I do get too fast, I'll probably mess up. Especially since I haven't been scrolling in a while. I'm just going to take my time and work my... Okay, thank you, Jeff. He says no. Saw's not too loud. That's good. Good to know. I appreciate the information. Yeah, the first couple of times I tried, the first few things I cut out on this, the blade kept popping out. I wasn't getting in the holder good enough. Totally my fault. It wasn't the saw's fault or anything else. It was my fault. It's just, it'd been so long since I'd sit down at a scroll saw that I was all thumbs, so to speak. I'm hoping by the second or third ornament that I'll be able to loosen up some. And I agree with the fact that I gotta learn to keep my hand back or move it over some so y'all can see. It is like riding a bicycle. So I didn't expect to have a tremendous amount of people show up today to watch me because it is a Monday. What is it? A Monday? No, a Tuesday afternoon. I'll take that back. It is a Tuesday afternoon, so. But I wanted to get started on these because before you know it, Thanksgiving will be here and she'll be wanting to put the tree up and I won't have these done and I'll be in trouble. I am on Restream able to watch all three chats over on Facebook and Twitch. So if you're watching me over on Facebook, say something. I'll see it. Say hello. How are you? I will definitely be able to see it. This is kind of a new camera arrangement for me. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I need to bring this up a little bit and maybe a little more down so that my hand won't be in the way so much. Yeah. Right, let me get this USB cable up here out of the way. Before I step on it. I'll get this locked in. I'm going to be doing some more live streaming. Scrolling and live streaming here in the next few weeks. Who you talking about, Chris? Jeff, you said, Chris, I hope everything is good. And hi, Chris Nealon. So is he talking about you, Chris? What's going on? Thank you for joining us, by the way, Mr. Nealon. It's coming along nicely. Now I just got to cut it out. This is our newest addition to the family. Her name's Lila. It's my great granddaughter. It's my granddaughter Jaleesa's child. So I have two or three great grandchildren. I don't remember. It's hard for me to keep up. Because once I finish these 4 here and add them, there's 23 on there right now. So that brings my immediate family, sons, daughters, and grandchildren, to 27. The Lord said, be fruitful and multiply, and we've done that. We have done just that. Chris Nealon, heart issues again, not life changing. I hope I had an ablation last week. Oh, my goodness, Chris. Yes, I do hope you're doing good and do better. My wife came about that close to having to have an ablation. They had thought that she had AFib, atrial fibrillation. But after tests and a couple of opinions from different cardiologists, that's not what they diagnosed her as having. It's something entry, something tachycardia. I don't remember. She can tell you the name of it right off the top of her head. I can't. But like I said, but hers so far has been able to be controlled with medication. She's been on her medication for a few years now, and it's been working great. Every once in a while she'll have a little flare up, so to speak, but it's nothing that we can't take care of by the vagal maneuver or a few other things that you can do. But okay, so let me see if I can get a dark background on this. So there is the first one, Lila. And the reason I chose this one is because she only has 4 letters in her name. It's really big open to get me started. That's the reason I chose this one, trust me. Because now we go to, which one do I want to do next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one looks like the next easiest one. Here. Been dealing from AFib for a long time. This week was my second ablation. Oh my. Yeah, like I said, she was gonna have to have an ablation. And just so happened to be that we requested no, actually the cardiologist himself said that, let's look at this or let me send you to an electrocardiologist. Which I'm sure you know this. That's a cardiologist that deals with the electrical part of the heart. And he said, let me send you to him and let him look at you and see what's going on. So we did. I'm putting this through here, having a little hard time. I have bent the end of the blade. I think I'm going to end up having to change my blade out. I do. And I don't seem to have a pair of pliers here to be able to. Let's try this. Take a little crescent wrench and put on it. Yeah, I didn't get it in the holder right and it bent. It was not the scroll saw's fault. It was not the blade's fault. It's me. Because I'm having to get used to this all over again. It was back during those first few times when I tried to install the electrophysiologist. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what we had to do. Chris said he has to run. See you next time. Good seeing you, Chris. And I hope and pray that you everything goes great. You get better. And I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers. Chris is a loyal follower. He is over there on YouTube all the time when we have Let's Talk Shop with Russ on Saturday nights. So I appreciate him. For dropping in. This thing keeps giving me problems. I'm just going to have to change the blade. Now I'm getting back into the sync of it. I see I'm monitoring YouTube or Facebook for those of you who are over on Facebook watching. I am monitoring it. If y'all would like to make a comment. I kept these when I first made these ornaments years ago. I kept them rather simple, just a plain round, basic shape. I've often thought about upgrading and making them a little bit different, make them a little nicer or whatever, but now I'm going to do 27 of them if I was to start all over again. And I'm like, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I am just going to keep these the way they are. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up having to change this blade. It's slipping out of the holder those first few times. Really messed it up. I'm trying my best to keep from having to change it. It was a brand new blade when I put it in. It was my fault. I didn't get it in the holder good enough and get it in there right. If you have any questions about scrolling, you would like to ask me, just feel free and put them out there in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer. I'm not going to promise you I can answer them. Lord knows I'm not a genius. All right, yep, let's go ahead and change this. Just getting to be too much of a pain in the butt. I'm hoping that since I have been doing this, I don't have the problem of it slipping out of the blade holder that I had in the beginning. I hope. Yeah, because it was like the first 2 or 3 times that I tried to put it on. It slipped and bent. And Arlene Darby questions: how did you make the pattern for the names, size, blade, and type of wood? I made the pattern in Corel Draw. I love Corel Draw. I've been using Corel Draw for years. And every time they come out with a new one, they sucker me in and I buy a new one. So Corel Draw. It's a vector graphic program. Love it. It's very different from Photoshop and those are raster type programs. So Corel Draw is what I use. As far as blade, I'm using a number 1 Ultra Skip Reverse from Nequa that I get from actually they're my sponsor, so Bearwood Supply. That's the type of blade I'm using. Like these blades, really very good, very sharp. And then this is just 1/4 inch Baltic Birch plywood. That's all this is. 1/4 inch Baltic Birch plywood. Just for these. I didn't want anything. It didn't have to be. Actually, I like Baltic Birch because these things and some of the letters get kind of thin, and Baltic Birch holds up very well. And I stain them kind of dark, stain, and then seal them with lacquer, and you just really don't even notice that they're made from Baltic Birch plywood. They almost look like they're made from some hardwood. So the next reason I used a Baltic, this is 1/4 inch by the way, Baltic Birch plywood, 1/4 inch. The next reason I use it too, the Baltic Birch, is because it's light. You don't Think about it. You don't want all your tree ornaments are very, very light. You don't want anything heavy that'll make the branch bend. So this is very, very light. Time you make it and cut all the places out for the name, it even lightens it up even more, so it's perfect for the tree. And I could use 1/8 inch, but 1/8 inch is just too thin. It breaks too easy. And I've had some of the grandbabies grab a hold of a couple of these and pull them off the tree and drop them on the floor, and they just bounce. They don't break. 1/8 inch would shatter or break. It wouldn't take the punishment that this 1/4 inch does. And glad to have you watching Arlene Darby over on Facebook. I appreciate you joining us. Or joining me, rather. I know Jeff Robinson was out there. I'm not sure he's still here. Sometimes I have to be careful and watch the line because I have an overhead light above me, and I think I'm going to end up having to put a light over in that direction, have it shine this way, because the overhead light gets into my magnifying light here, and it actually blinds me. I can't see. So I have to kind of move my head around to get it into the proper position. So it doesn't blind me. Well, I think the first it had to be 10 years or more. Jeff Robinson, I love the new Restream bot. Yes, I like it too. That way I can watch all three: Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube from right here. So it makes it nice. Arlene says, I'm happy to be here. I have a hard time finding Baltic birch. Can you tell me where you get it, please? Well, Arlene, I used to get it. Did you see that? This blade slipped out. I didn't have it in tight enough. And now it wants to be difficult going back in for me. Arlene, I used to get it from Sloan's Wood Shop on the internet, and it would be delivered directly to my house. Sloan's has henceforth went out of business. So therefore, you can't order it from them anymore. I was fortunate enough that, and I really did not know this, I had bought wood from, I have a local lumber place, a lumber mill, not Home Depot or Lowe's. They actually carry all kind of hardwoods and at Rough Cut. And I was fortunate enough that I was in there one day and I looked over and I a rack that looked like they carry Baltic birch plywood, but in full sheets, which is fine. I've got a table saw. I'm capable of ripping it to any size that I want. So it was perfect. So I'll have to check. If you will, I'm over on Facebook. If you'll send me a friend request if you haven't already. Russell E. Claridy, actually, on Facebook. Send me a friend request, and I'll get it. And I'll talk to my good friend Steve Good and a couple of others and find out where they're ordering their Baltic birch plywood. So, because I'm assuming that you're not getting it, or you're not able to get it locally. So, it really upset me when Sloan's. They didn't go out of business. They retired. They just decided to retire. But I used to buy all my Baltic birch plywood from them. I could get it in 12-inch by 24-inch sheets. They would send it straight to my house, and I don't do a lot of big projects that required anything more than 12-inch wide sheets. I will tell you this, that once I have know that I can get the full sheets now, I ordered a printer and got it in that will actually do like 17 or 19 by 13. I mean, yeah, 19 like 13 or 19 by 15, some huge amount it'll print on. And with using Corel Draw being a vector graphic program, I can blow up one of my drawings as big as I want and it doesn't distort. So I am actually now considering, since I have the larger sheets of Baltic birch plywood and I have a printer that actually print out like 19 by 13, 19 whatever. I think it's 19 by something. I just don't remember what the other dimension is. Now that I have a printer that'll print that on that large of a paper, I'm actually considering tackling a few very large scroll saw projects. So for those of you who are just joining us, or joining me, I am cutting out some named ornaments for family members that our family is growing, that are added to our family since last Christmas. So I make the pattern. Darlene asked, but the pattern, I make it on Corel Draw. I've been making these for a few years now. Wished I had something smaller to put behind this. Been making these for a few years now for our family members. So that's actually what they look like. It's just a plain, simple little round ornament with a place to put a hook up top and their name in it. That's what I am making. We had some additions, and my wife said I needed to make these, and we don't decorate the Christmas tree or even put it up until the day after Thanksgiving. So I've got plenty of time to make these. It's not like I'm running out of time. It slipped out again. For some reason, this is the first time I've been on the saw in months. I am going to check after I get through with this today the blade holder and the positioning of the bolts and make sure they're where they're supposed to be. Oop, had that tension on it. Look at that. What a damn dummy. And see if it's not me doing something wrong or the saw needs to be adjusted. Because I haven't cut on this thing in 4 months, 5 months. I told my wife the other day when I walked in the shop, all the tools started to get ready to throw a party. Then I turned around and grabbed the tool and walked out, and they all started crying. It's a shame. They all started crying because I was leaving them. Yeah, I've never adjusted or checked the adjustment on the blade clamp. There's a possibility that it could be off. So I'm not going to mess with it right now. I'm just going to keep on scrolling and rack it up to user error that I'm making the mistake because I haven't scrolled in so long that it's my fault. Because I find it hard to believe that it moved in 4 months with it not being used. Yeah, I really think it's user error. The fact that I haven't been out here and done this in so long. That I'm having to get used to it all over again. I'm having to relearn. Jeff Robinson, my local plywood stores. Oh, I can move this up out of the way since I'm not using that camera thing anymore, so I can see. My local plywood store stocks the 60 by 60 sheets of Baltic birch. Yes. Um, and that is nice to be able to. I've never bought it in a full sheet before because, um, like I said, I didn't realize that the lumber yard that I deal with, as many times as I've been in that place, I think I might have just started carrying it here in the last year or so, because I would have thought I would have seen that rack before, but I'm not in there all the time. I am more now that they carry Baltic birch plywood. I'll be going in there more and buying stuff, but it's not every day I need hardwood. So I would say I went in there probably 3 or 4 times a year. Was all I went in there. But the 60 by 60 sheets, these are actually, I think, 5 foot by 8 foot sheets, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to measure them again, because I bought this sheet the first of the year, the first of 2020, and cut up about a third of it into 8.5 by 11 blanks, which are the size of your sheets of paper that you normally print on. So I cut a third of it up into 8.5 by 11 and left the rest of it, so if I wanted some bigger projects. I don't remember what size it is, Jeff. They cut it down. They cut it down for you and into 11-inch wide pieces. That's great. That's fantastic. Yeah, my lumber, this hardwood place will make a few. They won't cut a bunch. I'm not saying a whole sheet of plywood up for me, but they will make a few cuts for you for free. But if I wanted them to cut the whole plywood up into 11 an inch wide, they would probably charge me to do that. So that's good that they'll do that for you. Because if you don't have the capability, a 60-inch piece is worthless. But in the same aspect, even if you have the capability, it's nice for them to let them cut it up. I think that's what I would do. Let them do it. Well, like I said, I've never had in years Baltic birch plywood in that big of in full sheets. So I've always been kind of limited to projects size. I could do 12 by 24 because that's the size sheets I was getting. I could do a 12 by 24 project without any problem. But now that I have access to that, and that's what made me think, well, since I'm able to get the bigger sheets, I need to be able to print the patterns bigger. So I was sitting there one day in front of my computer, and I typed in printers that print on large paper. Kids. Arlene Darby says, I rather have smaller sheets, but any size is okay. I just need some for ornaments for the kids. I am in the Tampa area. Well, now, check, if you're in the Tampa area, check with Woodcraft, which is over, that would be your closest place, which is over in Clearwater. Woodcraft, call them over in Clearwater. Woodcraft over in Clearwater, I am pretty sure carries Baltic birch plywood and in sizes. So contact them if you can't find it any other place, because I'm almost positive They carry Baltic birch plywood and different sizes. They might even carry it in 60 by 60 sheets. But if they're anything like Rockler, which will carry, Rockler carries not only the 60 by 60 sheets, but they carry it in smaller sheets too, smaller sizes too. So check with Woodcraft and Clearwater. That would be the closest place for you. If you still can't find any for the ornaments, like I said, friend me over there on Facebook, and we'll talk. We'll talk. Maybe we'll work something out. Maybe I'll go buy a full sheet for you and cut up some pieces and meet you part of the way. We'll talk. All right. Arlene says, I sent you a friend request. Great. When I get back in the house later on today, I'll accept it. And I just made some name ornaments out of resawn solid maple. I resaw it with my bandsaw. Oh, great. I'll bet you that's pretty. Like I said, I would use solid wood. I could use solid wood also. The reason I don't, let me cut this little hole out first at the top. Actually, that hole is so small. It's like 1/8 of an inch. I could use an 1/8 of an inch drill bit and drill that out. I wouldn't have to cut it out. I think I am going to do that, by the way. I'm just going to drill it out rather than cut it. I cut the first one out. But it's just as easy with a sharp drill bit to drill it out as it is to mess with it. Yeah, I bet you they're pretty. Are they, how thick were they? Randy, how thick were your solid maple ornaments, name ornaments you made? Another thing you have to look at when you're using solid wood is that solid wood, regardless of how well it's dry, has a tendency to move. So therefore, and I've had a lot of problems, 3/8 of an inch, or okay. I have had a lot of problems over the years with thin pieces of solid wood moving on me. I cut a scene out for somebody years ago, and it was made out of maple. I think it was 1/2 inch maple, and that sucker wanted to warp. But now it was a big piece, it was like 8.5 by 11 or whatever. Well, I constantly had problems with that. Part of the problems that we experience here with hardwood like that here in Florida is because of the humidity. Where our humidity is just outrageous. mean, there are day after day after day that it's 100% humidity. All right. There's the second one. That's another grandchild. His name's Elijah. I call him Eli, but Elijah. Let me, first off, let me check and see what time it is. It is, gotta put on my glasses, 4:13. Okay. I can go till 5 o'clock. But at 5 o'clock, I gotta quit because it's my turn to cook supper tonight. So I gotta stop at 5 and go cook supper. Randy, that 3/8" maple, I mean, have you put them on a tree as of yet? Do you have your tree up where you put them on there and the limbs seem to be able to hold them all right? I have to get me a drink of water. Just curious as to, because I know maple can be rather heavy. I don't know that I'm sure I'll get this one finished before, this is Carter. If you can't tell, that's Carter. Carter. And now this is a great grandchild here. Carter is. Carter's 2. Yeah, I missed putting his name on last year. I was supposed to do it, and my wife kind of got mad at me, so I have to make up for it this year and get it done. I mean, sometimes there's just not enough hours in the day. Jeff says in my area, Baltic birch, Russian birch is 1/8" 1238 a sheet, 1/4" 2302 a sheet. Is that 8? What size sheets are those, Jeff? Students. Randy says he hasn't heard of any issues. That's good. I'm glad you haven't. Trust me, I've had his issues cutting hardwoods thin. They have warped on me on more than one occasion. Trust me. But I am glad that you're not experiencing any of those problems. It will make you want to pull your hair out. Trust me. I don't know if it was a problem with the wood, whether the wood hadn't been kiln dried long enough, so therefore it had moisture content in it. I don't know. Can't tell you. I just know I had problems. Oh, come on. Quit that foolishness. I'm telling you, it's user error. For some reason, I haven't done this in so long, I'm having a hard time Getting that blade. And the clamp holder. Hoping I can get this one cut out. Jeff, you is the bot still working? Have you? I didn't see you post what sizes those sheets were. The 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch Russian Baltic birch. My telephone ringeth. That's a number I don't know, so I don't answer it. $60 by $60. Oh, okay. That is a good price, my friend. That's right. You did tell me it was 60 by 60 earlier, didn't you? I forgot. Now that I look back up, I see it. Hey, old timers is getting to me. I'm forgetting it easy. That's a good price. That is a good price. 60 by 60, 1/8 inch for $12.38 a sheet. That is a real good price, my friend. Yeah, that is a good price. I guess if I was smart enough to look back up in your in the comments, I would have seen that 60 by 60. But unfortunately, I didn't. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get this this completed. If not, tomorrow's another day. I'll finish it. because I know I'm not going to be able to get it finished or get both of these finished today, so I got to get on the scroll saw anyway. So it's not like any big deal. Since I got to get back on it anyway. I know my wife will be happy that I'm getting these done. And I know some of my grandkids and great-grandkids will be happy to see their name on the tree this year. I mean, if I'm going to finish this one, even if it runs over a few minutes past 5 o'clock. I'm about halfway right now, so. I really don't have that much to do tonight to be able to finish preparing dinner. Anybody still out there? I haven't seen anybody chat any. It's lonely in here by myself. Dad burn it. I am definitely going to look at that blade holder tomorrow. But I have a feeling it's my fault. I'll end up cleaning it and making sure it's aligned correctly tomorrow. Before I do anything else. Because see, now I've bent the, I think it's kind of looking at like it might be not totally aligned correctly. What it's kind of looking like. Because you see it's already bent this, and that hook sign is kind of an indication that it's not lined up. Now why I didn't notice it the last time I used it, I don't know. I didn't do this last time. That's the reason I was chalking it up to user error. But it very well could be. And I just didn't pay attention the last time I was using it. It's not uncommon for sometimes for the holders to come out of alignment like that. There is a set screw over here on this side up here, and it needs to be, if it moves in too far and it's not protruding out enough to get that blade in there just right, it can cause the slippage and cause a hockey stick. And also, I haven't cleaned it. I don't remember the last time I cleaned the blade clamp. So it's a very good possibility the stupid things just need to be cleaned. I will find out tomorrow. I'm not stopping today and trying to mess with it. I'm just going to go ahead and keep on for today. Jeff, Arlene, are y'all still out there? Or Randy? Randy, are you still there? Y'all still watching? They also stock BCP grade 1/4 inch Russian for $16.42 a sheet. Wow, that's still. That's still a good price. I will find out how much they have. Their My Lumberyard is online, so I can go to their website and get the price. But I'll look up the size and the price of their Baltic birch and see what it is. And next time I'll let you know. If you see me stopping and doing what I'm doing, like what I was doing right then, is sometimes if I spin the wood with the blade running, the corners get a little rounded. They're not really nice and crisp and sharp as I would like them. So sometimes I will go back and just take my blade and oops, they're not the right place, and run it into the corners and square them up a little bit better than what they were. Yep, just square them up a little bit better. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I can actually see with this magnifying glass in the blade clamp, and since I'm having some problems, I'm looking in there and making sure that I'm getting the blade locked down. Is that going to keep it from popping out? I don't know. Well, quotes and quotes. Santa, hey. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! One thing nice about my setup that I have here, with my computer and my cameras and everything, is I could technically do other things and go live stream. In other words, I have a lathe and I do some turning. So I could actually turn live. And now that it's cooling off, for those of you who do not know, I live in Florida. And I limit my outside stuff. This part of the shop, I have two shops, so to speak. This part of the shop here is sealed and is air conditioned and heated. So I even have a TV up there I can watch if I wanted to. But yeah, this part of the shop is like sealed, heated, and air conditioned. The part of the shop where my table saw and my bandsaw and all that kind of stuff is not totally sealed, so it can't be air conditioned. So in the summertime, it gets very, 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 very warm out there. So I'm not going out there to anything I have to do out there, I usually do it first thing in the morning. James Parker's joining us. Hi, James. Anything I do out there, I do first thing in the morning. Like if I got to cut something on the table saw or resaw something on the band saw or whatever it is I have to do, is I get it done out there. That way I can bring the project into here and do assembly or whatever I need to do. So yeah, I don't want to be out there. Definitely not out there past. I don't even stay out there until noon. Usually I'm out of there and in here by 10 o'clock. It's just too dead burn hot, and I'm getting too old. And John Bradley, hey John, glad you were able to join us. And James Parker, glad you were able to join me. I had some half-inch Russian birch in my stock, so I built a Steve Good sleigh, looking for some reindeer patterns. Cool. Glad James and John were able to join me or join us. If y'all would like to know what I am doing, I am making name patterns for family members to go on the tree. We have had some additions this year. This is one I have completed. Elijah. He is my grandson. So that's one of them I've completed. Right now I'm working on my great-grandson, Carter. We're about to finish that one. These are just simple ornaments that I named ornaments that I made in Corel Draw and cut them out. I started making them years ago, 10, 12 years ago, I don't know, a long time ago, and putting them on the tree. I kept them simple, just because when I first did them, I just wanted them simple, easy to make. I hang them on the tree. They get to see their name. They look great. You know, I didn't want anything that I had to spend hours upon hours making just for a name, just in case. So, John Bradley, hey Russ, James, where's the rest of I'm doing this just by myself, James. This is just me on the scroll saw all by myself. I have the Restream bot for chat up so I can monitor Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So just by myself. And Herb Hooper says hello, everybody. Hi, Herb. Glad you joined us. James, when did you send me that email? Because oh, yes, I did. The pattern that I was asking for the monogram Christmas letters, yes, I got that. Thank you very much. I sent an email back to you thanking you, James, for sending me that information. I appreciate it. It's a Steve Good pattern, but I couldn't find it. And I wanted to make one for us this year for Christmas. It's just a big letter, monogram letter. My name's Claridy, so it's a big monogram C. And I can put in my name in it, you know, Claridy, and it looks really nice. It's got a little snowflakes, a little snowman on it, but I couldn't find it, and it's on Steve Good catalog. I don't know why. I just couldn't find it. And James seen that I was looking for it, and sent me the link this morning, so I appreciate that. Jeff Robinson's when James says, "Where's the rest of the bunch?" Jeff Robinson said he didn't pay him this week. That's funny. I didn't pay him this week. Yep, or a day late and $1 short. So John Bradley wants to know what blades I am using. John, I am using for this project a Ultra Reverse. Number 1 from Wood Supply, Aniqua. These are really good blades. I like them. Really good. I would highly suggest them. If you want to know, Wood Supply. They're on the internet. Just type in Wood Supply into your browser finder, like Google, and you'll come across them. They're actually in Canada. But they're very, very reasonable. They're very good on shipping, as far as reasonable on shipping to the U.S. And they ship rather quickly on their products. So yeah, I like the Aniqua. They also have the other one. They carry the other one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. You'll have to forgive me. I'm getting old. So things don't I don't retain my memory as good as I used to. Trust me. Pegasus. Jeff Robinson says Pegasus. James says Steve has a video that shows you how to do it. Change the name in it. Yeah, I don't need Steve video. I know how to do it. But thank you for yes. I know he has a video. I did watch that video, but yeah, I know how to put the name in it. It's no big deal. I don't know if that's the name of the Pegasus is a scroll saw. Is that the blades too? It might be Pegasus blades, yeah. I think I've got some around here somewhere. I think I've got some around here. Also have some Flying Dutchman, which I like also. Anyway, I'm using the Nequa from Bearwood Supply. John Bradley says, Bearwood's amazing. I live in Ontario, Canada. Yeah, they're really good. But yeah, Steve Good has that pattern we're talking about it'll fit on an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of Baltic birch, but you can make it bigger. You're not limited to that. Or 8.5 11-inch sheet of paper, I should say. But you're not limited to making it that size. But it's a monogram letter, and it's a Christmas monogram letter. He has the complete alphabet, A through Z in the pattern, over on in his pattern catalog over on his website, scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com. Steve Good is a very good friend of mine. We've been friends for years and years and years and years. And I saw somebody had posted a picture of that pattern that they had made and had their name put in it. And I was like, wow, I like that. And I had seen that pattern when he first, because I get his email every day, and I had seen that pattern, but when I saw it cut, somebody had cut it and put their name in it, I was like, wow, I like that. That's sharp. Steve Goods has some fantastic patterns on his site. So as soon as I saw it cut, I was like, all right, I'm going to make me one of those. And I went to his catalog and looked. Well, I'll be danged if I could find it. And James saw me post asked what was the name of the pattern, so I could do a search by name, and he was kind enough to send me the link so I could find it. I appreciate that. Actually, that's going to be probably one of my next live scroll saw projects. It's under signs in his catalog. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be my next live scroll saw project, is making one of those. This blade 2 has now become bent, so it's getting increasingly a pain in the butt to get it into the blade holder. And I don't want to change blades. I don't want to damage another blade, just in case. Alright, what's going on here? Why am I having these problems? Trust me, things only mess up when it's live. For some reason, yeah, things only mess up when it's live. I could do this all day long and never have a problem. You go live and boom. It immediately goes wrong. Ask anybody that does live streams. if it's going to go wrong, if it's going to go bad, it's going to do it live. For the whole world to see, and it's not a video, so you can't edit it. Everybody gets to watch you. Yeah, note to self. Clean blade holders and check alignment before the next scroll saw project. I've had this thing for this ST21 now for 2 years, and if I clean the blade holders and check them, it'll be the first time since I got it 2 years ago. I mean, yeah, I do realize they're supposed to have some maintenance done to them from time to time. And I'll admit, I'll be the first to admit I've neglected it. It needs to have some maintenance done to it. I think I need to do that before I do any more scroll saw projects. Just do some maintenance on it. She has been, so reliable, I will tell you that. Just come out here and sit down and start scrolling for 2 years. Now, I will tell you this, I don't scroll every day. I mean, just like right now, this is the first time this saw scrolled in 4 months. I don't scroll every day. I got a bunch of other things that I do in different projects. So when I say that I've owned this saw for 2 years, yes, I have, but it hasn't been run every day for 2 years. Yeah, hasn't been run every day for 2 years. Do I need to order a set of quick clamp renewal kit from? I might have to. I got to check it. That's Jeff. I got to check it. I'm not sure what's going on, but like I said, I haven't. This is the first time I've sit down at the saw in 4 months, and the last time I used it, it was working properly. I wasn't having any problems. I was, in the beginning, I was thinking user error because I just hadn't been scrolling. When you don't scroll for 4 months, you know, it takes you a few seconds to get back into the swing of things. So, but I don't know. I'm going to have to. I mean, it needs to be cleaned. It is very, very, very dirty. So I need to do a good cleaning, and then I need to check the alignment inside here on the blade clamps to see if what's going on, to see if that's it. And at that time I'll be able to tell what I need to do. And I didn't even think about it. I just came out here this afternoon, did this pattern this morning. I had to do a few other things, and I came out here this afternoon and I said, you know what, I think I am going to go live and when I do these ornaments, because I haven't done anything like this in a while as far as live. So I think I'm going to go live and do these ornaments. See, it's bent the end here. See that? There's a hook in the end of it. And so therefore it doesn't want to align back into the blade holder just right. So once that happens, that becomes a pain in the aspirin. I will tell you that much. So I'm taking this, I don't have a pair of pliers. I'm taking this crescent wrench and tightening down on the blade and trying to bend it back straight when I should be putting another blade in. But my point is about not putting another blade in is because if it is the clamp holders and they're bending, it's bending the blade, I don't want to run another blade. I mean, I realize they're not that expensive. Trust me. I should just throw another one in there rather than just horsing around with this, but I'm stubborn. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. I'm stubborn, Jim. He says, time for a new blade. I'm stubborn. James, not Jim. I'm stubborn. I'll make it through this, and then I'll find out what's going on. I can't blame the saw because, like I said, I haven't been on it in 4 months. And it very well could be user error. It could be me. I'm not discounting the fact that it might be me. Trust me. But that hockey stick shape that I showed you on the end of that blade is actually an indication that the set screw alignment that holds the blade in position, the 2 pins, has come out of alignment. They're not lined up properly anymore. That's what that is an indication of. But I am not taking the time to do that today. I am going to finish this ornament. I'm going to finish this ornament. And then before I start any other projects, I will do some maintenance on the saw and figure out what's going on before I do any other projects. I've got one more to cut, and that is for my son's fiance. Her name's Aislinn. If you can't read it, that's the last one I have to cut, but I'm not going to mess with that today. I'm running out of time. It is... Oh, where'd my mouse go? Yeah, it's almost 5 o'clock. So I'm not going to mess with this last one here today. Plus the problems that I'm having with the saw. It could very well be, once again, I won't know until I take it apart and see what's going on and do some maintenance on it. It could very, very well be that it's user error. David from Portal Woodwork says, howdy everybody. Y'all are joining at the last minute. I'm quitting. So, Mr. Doughboy, I ate a kid's meal at McDonald's this afternoon. His mother is furious. Funny. James says, we are all... Yeah, I know, I'm stubborn. Jim Bashir says, wow, is that a scroll saw? No, it's a figment of your imagination. Jim, it is not a scroll saw. It's a figment of your imagination. But yeah, so there's the last one I got done. That is Mr. Carter. He is my great-grandchild. So this one here is Aislinn. That's my Aislinn is our future daughter-in-law. And then today I got through with Elijah. And Lila. She is my great-granddaughter. She's the last so far. So these are the 4 named ornaments that I need to get made and put on the tree for this Christmas. They were supposed to have been made last year, actually. So my wife was not a very happy camper that it's taken until this year. So I had to make sure that they're done this year. Trust me. So James says, where can we get the pattern for them? There's not really a pattern. I mean, it's just a circle with a name in them. I make them myself for myself. I made all these for myself on CorelDRAW. So it's just a circle, and in CorelDRAW you use what is called the envelope tool and stretch the name to fit inside the circle. Yeah, so it's really not a pattern that's available out there because, I mean, all the names are different. So JM is saying, waiting for Friday to get his neck adjusted. Wish you luck, my friend. Jim said he needed to look up something for work and saw I was on. Yes, I'm fixing to get off, so y'all join here at the tail end. I've been on for over an hour here scrolling. I've got 3 of the names done. They're sitting here. And here's the 4th one that I need to get done. But I need to look at the saw and see if there's something wrong with it. It needs to be cleaned for sure. It is very, 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 very dirty. I mean, there's a lot of dust buildup and dirt buildup on it, so I need to clean it really, really, really good. And get that done, and check the alignment in here. Check this alignment to see there's a set screw on the other side of this thumb screw inside there, over on this side, and it could have loosened up and moved inward. And if it moves inward, it's not sticking out far enough to catch the blade clamp. That is kind of indicative of this curve in the end of the blade. The blade's got, like, I would call it a hockey stick look. So sometimes that set screw can come loose a little bit and move inward, and that will cause this problem. The way it's looking, I think that's what's happened. But I need to check the alignment and everything on it first. And even before I do another scroll saw project. Another thing too, this needs to be clean. This tip actually rotates. It is not a solid piece. It spins so that it itself doesn't twist the blade clamp, or the blade in the clamp. So a couple of things I need to do. I use alcohol. Jeff wants to know what I use to clean it. I use alcohol. I'll put alcohol in a little spray bottle, and I'll put some rags down here on the bed, and I'll just spray it with alcohol real good. Get me a little toothbrush, get in there and clean it all real good, and let it sit for some time. Now, I want to try to keep the alcohol out of these bearings back here, but up front here, there are no bearings that I have to worry about. Now, I'm not going to get them back in here under these roller bearings. In this area, I just want to do right here in this front part where the blade clamp's at. And then after I get it all cleaned up and everything, I'll take my compressor at 150 psi and blow in there and clean it all out and dry it all out from the alcohol. But that's what I use, just alcohol you buy from the little, I get the little, I don't know, I think they're quarts, but whatever they are, pints or whatever. from the grocery store or from Walmart or whatever I buy. I usually buy 4 or 5 or 6 of them because they're cheaper that way. And as far as buying them from Walmart or the grocery store, and I keep them on hand to clean stuff. But that's perfect for this. Alcohol, you don't want to clean it with mineral spirits. Mineral spirits has an oily residue, and it will leave oil on the blade clamps, and that's not what you want because it'll cause the blade to slip for sure then. So you want something that when it dries with no oily residue. So therefore I use alcohol. David says, I couldn't join earlier. I was driving, moving my deer camper trailer 50 miles down the road. That's all right. But yeah, I was only going to do this for a little while this afternoon. I was hoping to get all 4 of them done this afternoon, but looks like my speed has deteriorated since I haven't practiced in such a long time. But I'm going to do some more scroll saw projects, some more live stuff and scroll saw projects between now and Christmas. Trust me. And one of the things I'll probably do live is when I scroll that monogram letter from Steve Good's pattern with our name in it. So, and don't forget, this was a 1/4 inch, in case you're just joining and wanting to know, this was a 1/4 inch Baltic Birch plywood. That's my pattern that I made and designed. And I was using these Nequa #1 scroll reverse from Bearwood Supply. That was the blade I was using. And they are my sponsors. You can see them on here, Seiko and Bearwoods. Seiko Scroll Saw and Bearwood Supply. All right, guys, I'm cutting out of here. That's it for the day. I'm going to go in and do stuff for dinner tonight. But once again, thank you. Thank you all for being out there and watching. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. We're going to do some more of these between now and Christmas. Some more scroll saw projects, and might even do some turning. I don't know if I'll do turning or not, but might do some turning. But more or less do some scroll saw projects between now and Christmas. Christmas stuff. Thanksgiving's already on us, so I need to start doing Christmas stuff. Yep, bye, Jim. So thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it, and God bless. There's only one thing you need to remember to do, and that's get out in your shop and make some sawdust. Because if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, you're just too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust, all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. And God bless. I should say good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for watching, and God bless.